Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGenEd. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts and going over options data like Celsius, ticker symbol CELH. This is the $50 call expiring June 20th of 2025. And so this is one that actually didn't hold. I held a different contract that I think expired in March, but that was just a little too close for comfort for me. I like to have them dated a little bit further out. And so this one, I would be getting interested in it at around $1.50. Nearly hit it on Thursday, but even if this would have been $1.50, that may have not been filled if I had an order placed, which I do not have a limit order placed on this one, but I am just kind of eyeing it. Because it looks really good. And so I'll go over that. And that's really going to come from not this contract necessarily, but other ones in unusual whales. But this is the one that makes the most sense to me if we look at the chart, which I will do before looking at unusual whales. I think price could be heading up to $50 a share by June 20th. And so what we see is kind of perhaps, bottom being formed here with the underlying stock price in green or the average premium price of these contracts. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. We also see these spikes in volume in blue here. This one corresponding with about $60,000. Got some other spikes here. And this one corresponding with, let's see, 250 contracts traded there. But for over here, the blue, that's about $50,000 traded on that day. We do see open interest steadily increasing, so that looks good. And the implied volatility still below 80. So I think that there is a lot of good opportunity with this still. And so just kind of going over the thesis about this going up to 50, and actually I think if we look at the chart, I think 40 might actually stand out a little bit more. And so, yeah, I think I just kind of arbitrary lines, effectively what I drew up here. We've got this double top over here going back to the highs of August 2022, as well as the highs of December 2022. Got a double top there, also a gap up above that level, and then didn't revisit it until over here, so that's right around 40. I could see that. If we do go past 40, got all this consolidation just below that level, right around 50, marked there by that white line. And also just 50 being kind of a psychological level, half of 100, which was basically the double top up here, hitting a high of $99.62. So this is about the halfway point up to there. And so, yeah, I could see that being some resistance. And there's just, I think that this has been, some accumulation. And that the bottom was put in around 25.23, hit on November 18th. So that's kind of my thesis with it. But I should note there was a lot of chatter about this on X and, the different platforms about this being potentially a falling wedge over here. But then we did break out, but then we did retrace to go lower than where that falling wedge was. So, good to not be super aggressive with this one, or at least at that time it was not good to be super aggressive with it. But I do think that we could be seeing this breakout soon. Also, it does kind of look like, a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders pattern here maybe, but maybe that's just hopium. But yeah, I think that this could be going very easily to $40 or $50 a share over the next 6 months or so. And so just pulling back to this table, this was a contract $50 strike expiring June 20th. So let's look at that in unusual whales. And so here from the data, basically what I went over, nothing really standing out recently. Just flipping back here, this was a higher volume traded day back in November versus what we saw over here. So, nothing too exciting about this contract. We scroll down and look at the premium right here. Nothing really stands out. And so one thing that I did just by typing in Celsius, CELH up here, hitting that search button, I found another contract that really stands out to me. This is the $40 call that expires July 18th of 2025. So just a month beyond the June 20th expiration, and also being at that $40 level rather than that $50 level. In this one, no action over the past 30 days. Nothing. Effectively nothing. And then you see this giant candle here, and that was, I believe, on Thursday. And this is mind-blowing. My mind is blown by this. Look at this total premium traded. 18 million. That's a lot of money. That's unusual. And so that volume traded on that day was 38,000 contracts. Open interest went from 172 contracts to 38,000. So pretty massive. I don't understand how you can't be bullish on something like Celsius right now. This is, take my money, that gif or that meme of Homer saying, take my money, take it all, That's what this is telling me. This is that's the biggest blue whale I've ever seen. So I feel really, really good about that. But for me personally, the price of these contracts, the low on Friday was $440 per contract. That's pretty expensive. And so, with that being said, I feel like the one that I have been covering, it's a little bit more attainable. 227 was the low. It does look like the premium, though, if I switch this over to the day for this contract, we can see about where that premium ended, right around 240. So, but maybe there's a pullback. And so looking at my spreadsheet, I have 150. I don't think that's going to get hit. So I think maybe I should change that to 220. I don't know. Just keeping an eye on it. But if it does dip to 220, I think it's going to bounce. I think this looks really good. Yeah, because that was on Thursday when there was all of this volume. Wait, this is a different contract than the other one over here, the $40 call. So all of that volume, yeah, it was on Thursday. So that was when there's this dip to 188. So dang it. Yeah, so I think 220, something I want to keep an eye on. And actually, that's why I'm not too aggressive with AMC or some of the other ones on here, because, Celsius is one that I like to buy the dip on because the data supports that this is looking really good. So, yeah, I mean, I'm like, my mind, yeah, if I just go over to the 2 days, so like if I look at the 1 day, we got, there's some candles here, there's some activity for Friday, but then I just expand it to 2 days. Effectively, there's nothing on Friday because that candle was so flippin' big on Thursday. And, it looks red, bid side, so you'd think selling. The open interest went up massively, meaning more of these contracts are being held. $18 million. I'm excited about that. And so, with that being said, the way that I found this was just type in up here Celsius. So let's type that in. We can see the highest volume. So this is just going to be for Friday. $33 call expiring December 20th. That had 300,000 on it. So that's more than $250,000. So, that's good. Let's look at the premium. Let's filter it by premium. Hey, there's some even higher than that. So that's why it's good to filter by premium. Over $650,000, the $35 strike. This is January 17th. For me, it's a little close for comfort. But, yeah. But I don't know. This is risking, $135 versus $200. So maybe it's, but, personally, I'd rather have that extra time, that extra window going into like June rather than January of 2025. So that's a little risky to me. And then, getting into these other ones that strikes lower. But, I feel like it doesn't even have to go to 50 a share. It just has to go towards 50 a share. So I like this contract. So I'm sticking to it. But, no buy orders placed. Just keeping an eye on it. So we'll have to see what happens on Monday. But yeah, this one, I don't know how you could not be bullish on Celsius given that amount of premium traded on Thursday. So super exciting there.